Okay. So in the beginning, my name is Elizabeth Ekenmo, founder of the Virtuous Tribe. Again, a tribe for women by women, building virtuous women. And this is our aim. We're not aiming to what's the word? We're not a feminism group. We're not saying we're stronger than men. No, we are basking in our femininity because that is who God created us to be, and we are living it to our fullness. And because as women we juggle many balls, glass balls, rubber balls, sometimes we get lost. We get lost in dealing with everybody that we forget to take care of ourselves. So that's why this community exists. So you remember that there are people who can relate to your pain, and then they are here to support you. So today in our December fireside chat, we will be addressing a very interesting topic: money, money. It's often said that money makes the world go round, round, and round. And I like money. I mean, who doesn't? I definitely do. But if you don't, that's fine. I mean, we listen, we don't judge, even though I'll judge you. But today we have with us happy people, my speakers of inestimable value. I don't know how to say thank you to all of you ladies who have decided to grace this event with your presence. I am in awe of you. I respect your time. So I'm just going to get to it. We're talking money, mastering the art of financial balance. And my first speaker, in no particular order, because the questions will come in no particular order, they're just going to share from their insights and from their experiences how we can make money, how we can manage money, and how we can multiply money, especially as we're running into this 2025 that is a year of ease. If you've not declared it yet, I'm declaring for you that 2025 is our year of ease. Say amen. Can I get an amen? This is the part in churches where they do ding ding. Please, you're too quiet.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen.
You can emojize, just throw me electronic monies. Right. So I have on the floor an event veteran and monetization coach, as well as a leadership developer. And she has over 22 years of experience in event management and monetization. This woman is an icon. She's a star. I mean, take a look at her. She looks like Pepe. You know, Olawumi Heavens, an event and media veteran, monetization coach, and leadership developer. As a monetization coach, she helps professionals and businesses unlock their earning potential by transforming skills, expertise, passions, and opportunities into profitable ventures. So everything God has blessed you with, your hands, your mind, your heart, you can monetize it. And that's what she exists to do. She offers actionable strategies to elevate your visibility and value to ensure that her client, but our client, that's me and you, maximize opportunities in a competitive market. She has a plethora of books. You should check her out on Seller. I will drop her Seller link in the comment section. I also have, if you don't know this woman by now, you're probably not in the digital space because I don't know what you're doing if you do not know Dr. Mrs. Ginger Vivian Badmus. I feel like a parent should have added Ginger to your name. She's the founder and president of the Phoenix Gates Group. She's a distinguished medical doctor, public health physician, serial entrepreneur. Hey, I promise you, that serial, gun. She don't take it to play. She's a freaking serial entrepreneur with over 7 years of clinical experience. As you see her, they shine, they smile. So it go be like, as the doctor doing all of these things, they do wonder. Eh? They do wonder. She is the founder and president of Phoenix Gates Group. And the Phoenix Gates Group is a global network with over 1,000 members and have impacted 30,000 professionals across the US, UK, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya, and more. I don't think she knows all of the demographic, but Dr. Vivian Magnus thrives as a career and business development coach, and she has coached over 1,000 individuals and hosted events with over 16,000 attendees. I think this number just recently went up. And she's known for her transformative master classes, of which I am a part and a testimony of. She has received prestigious awards, including the Social Impact Award of the Year, as well as the Most Impactful Community of the Year. She is an experienced Scrum Master, researcher, public health expert, specializes in health education, medical campaigns at Tibebelo. This is just a summary. You're going to read her about on her LinkedIn. I'll put her LinkedIn in the comment section as well. And founder and chief marketing Kinikon, tech queen herself, founder of Transition to Tech Academy, lead coach as well of the Transition to Tech Academy. With over a decade of experience in the tech industry, she supports and guides people into tech roles. Judy Erusiafe, blood of Jesus, I will not spell your name in Jesus' name. Judy Erusiafe. Yes, I got that right. They're clapping for me. Judy Erusiafe, and she has a specialty in demystifying, maybe that English is too much. She has a specialty in breaking down complex tech concepts to make it really simple, like 5-year-old can understand. She breaks down further maths into arithmetic, something like that. She's the tech queen and she has lived up to her name. She has lived up to her name. If you don't know anything about tech and you want to understand, Judy's your go-to person. So these are a lineup of speakers. If you want to say hi, please unmute your mic and say hi, and we'll get into the session ASAP. Mommy Heavens, do you want to say hello to our audience?
Hello, everyone. It's it's such an honor to be here. When you mention money, I'm always very happy. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Thank you so much, Miss Heavens, Mrs. Heavens. Judy, do you want to say hello? I know Dr. Vivian is in another engagement at this time. Okay, she has said she will be in and out for a bit. Judy, do you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, glad to be here. I hope to give as much as I can and learn from others' experience too. So happy to be here once again.
Okay, thank you so much, Judy. Dr. Vivian, if you can speak, say hello. If you cannot, that's fine. We will just get into the conversation proper. So I'm going to guide the direction of this conversation. However, feel free to talk from your heart. Feel free to share from your experiences. God has blessed you with this, so let us tap into your grace. To my speakers, the floor is open. So at any point, lest I forget, at any point, if you have a question, feel free to raise your hand and we will take it as it comes so that we don't have it bombarded till the end. There's going to be a Q&A session, but we're going to take your questions as they come so that we don't miss out on anybody's question. Okay. At this point, I'll turn off my video so that all of us can look alike. Yes, thank you. Okay. So to my speakers, I want you to share from your experience, from your wealth of experience, or when you hear money, what comes into your mind? What is money? I know that every time we hear money, we're thinking currency, we're thinking spendable, we're thinking notes, we're thinking something I can exchange, but how would you define money in your words? To be very simple. Miss Heavens, do you want to go first?
Yes, I'll go ahead. When you talk about money, I think for me, I'm thinking influence. Now, all those things that you've mentioned also go hand in hand with money, currency of exchange, but I think it's influence. Influence in terms of, when I speak a lot of times, I talk about money not just being a currency, money going into even generations. So when you talk about money, of course, it's a means of exchange, but at the same time, you are talking about something that can influence other things. The Bible says that, money answereth all things. So when you say that, I mean, are we talking about the paper? The paper is just an expression of what money is. So the same way you look into your account and you see a digit, or you look into for instance, the apps that I use to buy stocks or shares in other countries, and that's money. Even though it's not money that I can take out right now and spend, it's still money. So it's, to me, money, I say people say, when they say mammon, Money is an influence. Money is a spirit. What you see is just a connection to what money is. The paper that you have, in some countries, the coins that you have, the bonds, all those things are an extension of what money is. And it's very important because I think for a lot of people, especially I'm talking growing up in the church, you probably don't even know how important money is. And so I realized that a lot of us find out how important money is later, because when we read money is the root of the love of money is the root of all evil, and love of money, you hear people quote different things about money. They make money the villain, literally. So you grow up in a place or a mindset that makes you feel like money is bad, or having money or going after anything that will make you money is like something that is a no-no. Of course, over the years, I realized that that's not true. It's so important. Even if you personally don't need money, people need money around you. Causes need money. People are going to come and say, oh, this person needs money. Sometimes you realize that even if you're a minister, you see other ministers that also need one thing or the other, and money is the main thing that you are going to use for them. So money is quite key and important. I hope I've answered that question.
You have more than answered the question. I don't know. Judy, do you want to add something to this? Because I feel like she has looked the whole thing.
Oh, yes, she has. But just to add to what she has said, money is also a representation of choices. So money gives you freedom, power, and even as an African woman, money carries an even deeper meaning, It can represent your independence. So aside the physical or digital form of money, money means a lot more. It's freedom, it's your power, it's your independence as a woman. So for me, when you invited me for this program, I was very excited to talk about it because I feel women should have this thing called money. So it's not just the physical paper or digital form, just like Mrs. Heavens has said. It also represents independence, a way for the African woman to lift up her family. It's a resource to impact her community, to help her children. It's not just the physical, naira and kobo, pounds and penny. It is a lot more than that. So yeah, that's my little contribution.
Okay, I love the fact that you say money is independence, freedom, and power, because that is everything. That is everything. Money is independence. I mean, I don't think I need to explain that, but yeah. So Dr. Vivian is currently unavailable, and when she comes, I would like to hear what she says money is. However, we will proceed with the conversation. So I'm going to let Judy go first on this particular one. And Judy, the question is, from your experience, again, I'm drawing from your well of experience, what are some creative ways you have discovered? So we're going to take this in sections, right? Making money, managing money, multiplying money. So now let's start making money. What are some creative ways you have discovered to generate income, and how did you identify these opportunities?
Okay,
thank you. Okay, to speak to the African market and the diaspora market, just in case.
Okay, yes, obviously. So, making money. For me, personal. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about myself personally. So for me, I've explored various avenues in making money. Everything is a money-making venture for me. Not like I am that greedy, but I always see money whenever I have a venture. So I'll just take you like a brief background to myself. I am the kind of person that likes DIY. So anything I see, I want to do it for myself. Okay, this person has done it. How can I do it better? So I've explored various avenues. I have done, okay, right now I'm monetizing my skill, coaching and teaching tech courses and all of that. But I've done things like cooking. I have done, there was a time I was doing coconut oil making, and those are just creative ways to generate income. So you could be a woman, and because you're in the childbearing age, you're not able to actually physically go to work and make that money. But there are various ways which you can generate income. And how do you identify those opportunities? How do you identify those money-making opportunities? Look inwards. What are you best at doing? What do you do without even thinking? What is your talent? Once you're able to identify this talent, then you can actually start making money. So, for instance, you're a very good cook and you need to make money. There's no excuse for someone not to be making money in this day and age, right? Every now and again, apart from coaching people in tech, I always sit down with people and, okay, just I don't do it as a business. Yeah, I've not started monetizing that yet, but I do sort of run a consultancy. So you're sitting down, you're not doing anything. What do you have in your hand that you can use in making money? Is it speaking to a friend today? She just had a baby. So why don't you start doing baby content, start making money off it. People are willing to pay you to learn how you take care of your baby. So it could be new mothers, it could be people aspiring to be mothers. Those are ways that you can identify money making opportunities. You could be such a good cook, so even if you're not cooking for people, you're putting out content out there for people to learn how to make afang soup. So for me, I'm a Delta girl, so I make exceptional pepper soup. I can sit down and know that this is my talent. I put out content for it, and before you know it, somehow you can monetize it. You can put it on YouTube. YouTube will pay you for views and all of that. I know some of all of these opportunities I'm giving may not start making money for you immediately, but always look inwards for you to be able to see those money-making opportunities. They are inside of all of us. You could be very good at tidying the house. Start up a cleaning agency. You could be very good at maybe taking care of kids. Start up a child-minding a business. You could be very good with, let's say, I have a friend, she's married to a German, right? And she's a new mom, she doesn't have anything to do. I'm like, start teaching people German. You've learned how to speak German, so just go there, start creating content. If we look inwards, there are lots of money making opportunities, and the creative ways to generate income it's not any big deal. Just look inwards. You don't have to want to copy another person. You don't have to want to, this is the trending thing happening right now, so let me go into it. Look inwards, identify your unique talent, and start looking for how to monetize it. That's my small take on it. Let me give the other speaker an opportunity to speak on it.
That's not a small take, Judy, but I appreciate that and I love it. So please, can we encourage her? Can we emojize? I don't know if that's a word, but you understand what I'm talking about. So, Mrs. Heavens, in your opinion, how would you say, or what would you say are income streams, and how do you identify them?
Thank you very much. Thank you to the first speaker. What she said is absolutely true. I would tell you, first of all, look at low hanging fruits. When I say low hanging fruits, sometimes within where you are, there might be things that people are looking for. And I realize that some of the groups of people I meet are people who maybe your parents were doing one thing and they did it so much that you got fed up and that's not what you want to do. So most of us just go the opposite direction. Sometimes you don't realize that what they are doing is actually something that should come easily for you. It's actually low hanging fruit. When it comes to money, yes, it's good to have passion, but a lot of times it depends on what level you are at. Are you at the level where you want to survive? What comes to you easily? What's the thing that is around you there? And also, because I'm a service-based person, I've done events for 22 years. So that's a service. I'm not selling something in particular, like a physical product. Yes, if you're around somewhere where someone needs something, you can sell a product. One of the people that I think was Hobby was talking to me about an orphan and how she started turning her money within her area. She's a student, she's an orphan, and my family supports her. And he spoke about how at a point she decided to take the money where she realized that people were looking for yam. She started getting yam from a point where she knew would be cheaper, and she raised the money. Then he said I can't remember how much he said within this year, some months, she had moved the money to 700,000. How did she do that? Which is far, far, far beyond half, maybe like 80% higher than what she had in hand. How did she do that? When she sold yam and she realized realized that the market was drying up and she had to start school. So Hobby sent some amount extra for her to add up because she had spent some of the money. So when she got there, she realized that this is university. Unlike before, where when we were in university, we knew nothing about human hair. It wasn't so popular. But she realized that the girls were very, about human hair. They loved the hair. They would buy it if she had a low profit margin. And that's what she did. And she made so much money that she was able to move that money to 700,000. Now, that is a student. I would also go backwards when I was in university. When you talk about my 22 years, when I started my events business, I was in university. I had to start something. I remember having ushers. I looked around, I realized that people were stressed having ushers. So I went around hostels. I would look for people who were even taller than I was. I knew a lot of etiquette and, how a lady should behave. My mom is very British in terms of her background and education. So, all those things that she would talk to us about. I knew that this is the way people are supposed to have courtesy. This is where you're supposed to speak to people. I started going around and training people. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a card. And I started looking for those jobs and told them we had hostesses and this was the need we could meet. And there I started supplying hostesses. Not only that, people saw that I was volunteering to do events. And most times when you're looking for opportunities, sometimes opportunities find you when you showcase yourself. Don't sit up in a space. Even if you can't go out physically because you have a baby, you need to be able to attend Zoom meetings, attend community meetings online. Let people see you, ask questions. And when you're asking questions, you can introduce, this is what I do, this is what I know how to do. People will reach out to you. For me, I volunteered and then people called me that, oh, there's an event, someone is having a birthday party, they want someone to do the whole event. Of course, I was shocked. But my mom used to plan events while she was a broadcaster. She used to read the news, 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock news on NTA. And then she used to plan the children's parties. So it just came natural for me. I went that lane and I did that. What I will also say in terms of service is collaboration. A lot of people don't know that they're sitting on a gold mine. When I say a gold mine, I mean that you don't have to leave your house before you do something. I was talking to one of my friends. She's also in the LinkedIn community. We went for an event today. And when I went for the event, that's part of also making sure that you step out, whether it's physical or whether it's on the social platform. I got, of course, a proposition today. And I said, okay, when I'm done speaking here, I will continue negotiation with the lady. But as we sat there and we spoke, I said, oh, do you know what I do? Because you might just know me as an event planner. I said, but my company, OH Media and Events, actually does 3 things: events, media production, and trainings. And I said, I know what you do, but I also know that you have access to a few parastatals, a few offices, whether it's a husband's office, whether it's different places. There's some places that you have friends in. How about we bring those jobs out, we do them, and we make money? What am I saying? Referral. Referral is a business. A lot of us think so free that we don't even care. We're like, oh, someone gave you contact to this place, so the person will not get money. Oh, learn to refer people and pay. You understand? It can be your business. Where do you have access to? That's why when I say I help people monetize, it's not just their talent and their expertise. I always add opportunities, because there might be an opportunity that you have that someone can use and you get paid. There might be an opportunity that someone else has and you can use, and both of you also get paid. The problem is, a lot of times, if you don't have integrity or you don't put value to people's time and connections and contacts, people are going to shut you out. For instance, you are at home, like she mentioned earlier on that, oh, you can teach someone German. There are people that can structure it for you. Like someone that spoke to me about French. She spoke French fluently. I learned French a bit. I can still speak, and people who come from France think I'm very good. They start speaking it and I can't remember most of them anymore. But I have that good an accent when it comes to French. So when she came to me, I said, you're not maximizing this French. Sometimes you need to reach out to people to help you. And then I gave her a structure of how to get people to pay for you. So there's some things that you already have in your hands, and you're probably looking at your neighbor and thinking, oh, maybe if I could be a consultant like her, if I could be a clarity monetization coach like Olawumi Heavens, I'll just be making the dollars. It's not necessarily that. I personally believe in the fact that everybody has a call, everybody has something that God has put in you that you can actually monetize. So whatever it is, some people are very good at, maybe you've gone through grief, you have gone through pain. Do you know that that's something? What you can actually do is, in the meantime, when you're home, you can actually get online, take grief counseling, take a counseling course. Even though you already know stuff, take those courses, those short courses. It might even be a free course on Coursera and the likes, where you step into a field, for instance, like LinkedIn. And I've taken some people through it on LinkedIn, and they are making money. I simply told the lady, yes, you've gone through this. You had a baby, you got lost along the way. You need to find yourself. There are people on this platform who also need to find themselves, and this is the way to make money. So one thing I've said is low hanging fruit. Number two, learn to collaborate and make money, and let the other person also make money. Ensure that you have integrity and value, and you realize that there are opportunities everywhere you look.
Oh wow, amazing. I'm sorry, I was taking notes. I didn't realize that we had concluded. Jesus. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Evans. I appreciate you. That is lovely. Thank you so much, Judy. So what they have said is identify your talent that you can monetize. Look inwards. There's something that God has blessed you with that you can monetize. Look around you. Check your background. There's something you're familiar with. I hear a story of how Vicky James started, how she went into fashion because her mother used to be a tailor. I don't know how true, but I think I heard this from the grapevine. So that's, I mean, she may never have had the thought of, oh, I'm going to go to school to study fashion designing or something, but she's one of the biggest fashion designers in Nigeria, Africa, and globally, right? So that is also something you can tap into. Also, look through your experiences. Your experiences teach you and they can help you monetize. For instance, you've been through a situation, and there is no situation that is peculiar to you. You have gone through something, somebody else has gone through that thing and is trying to deal with it. Somebody else will go through that thing and will find a way out of it. So monetize from your experiences. I love that so much, Ms. Evans and Judy. Thank you so much for that. Now, let me ask you, what advice you would give to someone looking to step outside traditional career path to make money? So we don't just want to be doctors, lawyers, accountants. Now there's all the tech. What advice would you give to someone who is looking to, okay, I want to make money besides my 9 to 5. I want to make money not just as a side gig, something you don't pay attention to, but I want to put a structure, a system in place such that it can be running by itself and fetching me money while I still do my 9 to 5 and get the constant returns. I'm very invested in this question, the response. Let me see. Judy, do you want to go first?
All right. Yep. I don't know why I'm echoing. Is it echoing on your end?
No, it might be because I was unmuted.
Okay. All right, then that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So the advice I'll give to anyone trying to step out of their traditional career path to make some more money is to, first of all, understand your unique talents. It all boils down to understanding your unique talents. Now, the number one advice I would give to them is understand your unique talents. Number two advice I would give to them is, while you're trying to start monetizing that talent or passion, start little by little. So don't just resign from your job and say, I'm going to pursue, for instance, I want to pursue a cooking business. You just resign from your job. Sometimes, yes, you need to actually make that move, resign and start pursuing your talent immediately. But because of the way the world is, you've got bills to pay. These days, women are not just homemakers. They are also partaking in paying the bills. So sometimes as much as 50-50, women are contributing into the home front. So you may not just be, fortunate enough to just leave your job like that and start pursuing that talent. So I would advise that you actually be able to save up, depending on, circumstances. Again, you could have money already saved up. Your husband could be able to, set you up, but save up and slowly try to, go get into that business or that side hustle, which you want to make your main hustle, right? Start getting into it. Watch the market, watch how it's going before you actually now take a step from your main career path or your traditional career path and going into that business, that thing which is your passion. So also understand the whole market. So I mentioned that some time ago I was making coconut oil, and I think at that point in time coconut oil was the in thing. That was some, let's call it 6, 7, 8 years ago. Everybody was doing coconut oil for natural hair, coconut oil for eating, for weight loss, for everything. And like I said, I'm a DIY person, so I'm like, "Ah, am I sure this coconut oil that they're selling is, is pure, is real coconut oil? Maybe they've mixed something with it." And because of that, I started making it for myself. And I realized that, okay, there are lots of people who were around me that were doing some sort of weight loss thing, and they were doing some sort of, natural hair thing, and they needed coconut oil. So I decided to start making coconut oil and selling it. And some people came to me and said, okay, Judy, I love how you make a coconut oil. It smells so nice. You can tell that it's 100% natural coconut oil. I want to be able to, learn how to make it so I can start manufacturing. And I taught them. So when you're doing something like that, you're trying to step out of your traditional career path, also make sure that you understand the market so that you don't step out of your traditional.
I'm sorry, Judy, I muted you. Someone came in and the person was not muted, so I just muted everyone. I'm so sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I got a notification to say that you had muted me, and I was wondering why. So yeah, before you actually move away from the traditional career path, make sure you do it small by small. Don't just go ahead and, I'm resigning, because at the end of the day, how are you able to support the home front? How are you able to even have money to be able to invest in that business? Business these days is not rice and beans. You have to be able to have enough money, pay your graphic designer, pay your whatever you're doing. You have to have enough money. So while you're trying to, go step aside of the traditional career path, I would advise that you, still keep your job, still do your 9 to 5, but start doing that as a side hustle. And when you've built it up, when you've got a clientele base, then you can now step aside fully. Also, study the markets. Make sure that this thing that I'm going to do isn't going to really bring money for me, because sometimes you can just have a passion. I'll use myself as an example again. So I used to have a passion for writing. When I was young, I would write. I felt I was going to be like an author or something by this age. And I remember when I went to see my dad someday, and he was like, Judy, what are you doing? I'm like, I want to start writing blogs and all of that. And he was like, is that going to bring money for you? I said, no, it's my passion. I want to be writing. I want to write. I don't want to work. I want to be a writer and all of that. And my dad said, you know what? Do the thing that will bring you money. When you have enough money, then you can pursue your passion. So when you're stepping outside your traditional career path, always make sure that at the end of the day, we're all about the money. So you don't want to be doing, you are doing it because, yes, you have a passion for it. Let's say, for instance, you want to be able to help young girls that are, that have been abused and all of that. Yes, that is your passion, but you should still be able to see how you can make money out of it. I may be wrong, but for me, sorry, let me rephrase. It's not just all about the money, but at least whatever you're doing should be making money for you. So while you have passions, you should also have a source of income, because passion alone will not be able to make you survive in the economy of today. So whatever you're doing, make sure that it's going to earn you some money. Even if it's not immediate, on the long run, it's going to earn you some money. That will be my take on that.
Gosh, I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that. Go after the money first and then your passion later. Know your talents, know the vision, save up for it, watch the market, understand the market. Don't make a big leap. Go into it slowly, plant and watch as you go. That is very exciting. Mrs. Evans, do you want to shed some? Do you want to throw in some thoughts here before we move on to the next question?
I would say that she has said a lot about it already. Honestly, just be strategic and then count the cost before you start. Because most times the mistake people make is that they are not counting the cost. If you're going to go into a business, whether on the side or you want it to be your main business, you need to evaluate evaluate when do you think money is going to come in. I understand, just like Miss Judy said about the fact that it should make you money on the long run, but you need to find out when is that long run. Is that long run 1 month? Is it 2 months? If it is 2 months, then you know, okay, if I intend to leave my work and I have money saved up, how much do I need to cover the cost in terms of this new business before making money? If you were going to have a business plan, which you should have, if for instance you needed financial help from a bank, they will tell you to get a business plan. And in that business plan, you're going to be having information like when you think you're going to start making money. Is money going to be coming in 1 year? If money is going to be coming in 1 year, you obviously know that you can't just leave your business at that moment, or you can't leave your 9 to 5 at that time. If you also want to say, okay, I'm doing it at the moment, I want it to be structured, how many people do you need for that business to run? Is it a business where they're going to send you a message and they're not going to be able to respond until you close? Are you going to have to put information down that says, people are going to have to book a session with you in terms of you can only speak to people between 5 and 8 p.m.? You understand that kind of thing. So honestly, strategy and structure is the main thing to ensure that it goes well. And you have to be truthful to yourself. You have to tell yourself the truth. It's not going to be garnished like rose gardens. Even rose gardens have turns, meaning that you're not just going to tell yourself, well, I'm so good at this, I have all the clients everywhere. What's the worst case scenario? When you think of the worst case scenario, and I say this a lot, anything that is everything can go wrong. So you need to preempt, not to be, pessimistic, but for you to preempt those things. If this goes wrong, what am I going to do? If B also goes wrong, what is the plan? How am I going to cover it? So if you're strategic, if you're realistic with yourself, you will know when to cross over to the other side. And sometimes you don't even need to cross. What you need to find is a good GM or a good personal assistant that knows the work, that knows what you're doing and is passionate and has integrity, so that you're not just setting up a business and someone else is taking all your money. One of those things, I think it was even still today, I was speaking to someone. I said there were some things I used to do before that I did not do. I basically dropped them throughout all those time of I'm pregnant, I have a baby. My son is 1 year and 9 months now, apart from the ones that are 14 and 10. But I stopped it because some of the things I wanted to do or I was doing, I needed people with integrity. And of course, God was showcasing all those ones that didn't have integrity. And I told myself, no, I want to be able to see. And in this season, I found that more people with integrity are around me. And then I can say, okay, this particular work, I'll continue it. Why? Because I won't deceive myself. And then I'm just going to say something. We're on the platform when it comes to money. Don't be afraid of money. Don't be afraid of the word money. Don't be afraid of it, because what you're afraid of, it's not all those things that you say, whatever you're afraid of that's what comes to you. No, not when it comes to money. Remove that mindset that makes you afraid of money. You might not have all the money in your account or stacked up somewhere yet, but like I wrote somewhere, I said, money loves me. When I saw the monetization that they put money, spelled money, and then put tization at the end before they changed the flyer, I said, I'm sure she put it there because she knows that money likes me. And honestly, yes, I like money. I'm not in love with money. Money is a servant, it's a tool, but money loves me and it knows to come and find me. So you need to, because as a man thinketh, so is he. So I think that at this point, first of all, even though you're going to make the money or do the business, be strategic, be truthful to yourself. Time, look at what time it is. Don't just say, oh, very soon I'll make the money. While in the midst of your very soon, what's going to pay for it? And you have dropped your 9 to 5. So I also, just like Ms. Judy said, I don't advise you to just drop off your 9 to 5. You can strategically put someone there. And if it is now going very well, you're making that money that you're already making at your office, then you can now say, okay, I'm dropping off. I'm putting my time to make more. Thank you.
I'm adding that to my affirmation. I'm pasting it on my mirror right away. Money loves me. Money is attracted to me. Say yeah. Thank you so much, Mrs. Heavens. Yes, money is attracted to you. I'm a money magnet, and so are you. So I see that Dr. Vivian Magnus is present here. Dr. Vivian, the question that we are throwing light on currently is, what advice would you give to someone looking to step outside traditional career paths to make more money. We have answered the question around creative ways to generate income and how to identify those opportunities. We're currently talking about stepping away from your traditional 9 to 5 and wanting to make more money. Do you want to speak to any of these? Creative ways to generate income and identifying opportunities, as well as making money outside traditional career paths. My ginger mama, see as you're blinging up and down.
Okay, awesome. Good evening, everyone. I'm super sorry. I should have spoken quite earlier, but I am super busy right now. I had to shift another thing that I'm doing here. Plus, I have some little minions running around the house, right? And then I'm hoping I can probably just chime in a bit and then continue what I was doing. But I would want to first of all celebrate Elizabeth. Elizabeth is this. I'm sure all of you noticed that we look alike. Let me first start from there. Well, we're birthday mates and we just celebrated our birthday for some people who are just finding out. Okay. So we're the December 10th babies and I had an amazing time. Thank you so much, my apostle, allow me heavens, who has always blessed me insistently. Thank you so much, ma. I can see Judy as well. Excellent takes. Somehow I just found the way to, I had to open both devices, right? But then I'm hoping that I'll be able to chime in a lot and then I will just move quickly into what I'm doing. So she said, people trying to probably add more money or maybe money on the side. If I understand the question, generally that's just essentially, or people who are hoping to transition from the traditional career into maybe owning their establishments as well. So for me, the first thing I will have to say is don't leave your job. I'm going to say it 1 million times. Don't leave your job. Don't leave your job. I have a lot of people who come to my masterclass and they keep repeating the same thing. You know what? I'm just going to stop everything. They are stressing me. They are stressing me. I'm just going to stop everything because I just want to go on LinkedIn. I want to go on Facebook. I'm going to be on TikTok. I'm going to do this and do that. Don't leave your job. Look at my mouth. Don't leave your job. If there's anything you're going to remember tonight, right? Put it right before your face. Don't leave your job. Now, let me tell you one thing. A lot of people who go probably get some of these opportunities, you want to start out your own, but the ones you're in, you have barely even given your life. You've not even probably made your boss understand the significance of your presence in whatever role that you're taking. All of us tend to always shift our minds to the pressure the job is bringing on you. But I used to say it again for those who are very close to me and those in my masterclass, pressure is okay, right? Sometimes you have to ride on pressures to grow because most growth spots, I'm a medical doctor, so I can tell you for sure, most growth spots happen when you are churning out, when what you consider pressure comes in on you. So part of the things I would want to advise for you who is trying to probably leave the traditional, like I said, pause. The first thing for you to do is to pause, calm down, right? So number one is you need to start planning ahead. So the first thing you're going to write is, how much do you even make from this work? Can you account for all the monies that have come to you ever since you started working? You don't just leave the traditional. You have to account for your time. So let's say every month you're paid 500,000 naira. Do you have plans to, have you been saving? Let's even start from that. So I made a video today on LinkedIn and then we're talking about how some funny, well, it's not that it's bad. Some ladies who want to start up their businesses, but they are using the monies they've been paid to buy luxury bags and hairs. So literally now you want to move into, or you want to start your business, but you can't account for the money you had when you were working with other persons. That is very bad already. It actually shows that you're going to eat that business money. There's nothing we can say about it. So you know how the Bible said, whoever is not faithful in little things will not be faithful in much. In fact, that whoever is faithful in little things will be faithful in much. That was why when the parable of the 10 talents, of course, you know that the person with the 10 was given double. The one who had just one went to keep it under somewhere. So one of the things I would say first, part of your planning, the first point to itemize is what in your planning, you're going to account for the monies that have passed through you so far. Thank God it's end of the year. And for me, my bank, I can collect my bank statements 1 million times. They don't have a problem with it. For most people who have bank apps here, just click, go. I use Access very closely for my business. So what I normally do is I will just click from January 1st to December, print. I send it to my husband's computer because I rarely go out these days. They print it out for me in leaves. I'm there with biro and paper and I'm accounting, okay, how much came in? Well, the good thing is for Access, they will show you how much came in this year, then how much went out and how much is your difference. Now, if you can't afford for the monies you've been paid, and I'm telling you this for free, Madam Traditional, you are going to eat your business money. And that's not where you want to be. Because the good thing you need to know is that salary money, oh God, is the sweetest thing that can happen to you. I'm into business, right? I do coaching. I have my master classes as well. But one of the things that sweets me as a person is that my husband pays me monthly as well. More like severally monthly. So every time those extra money comes in, so that's like my work money, right? I feel super elated. So this is what I want to say now. Part of things I would want you to do is plan ahead. So we've talked about number 1, account for your money. All the monies are coming, account for them. Number 2, build online momentum. Build. Some of you who are saying, I don't want to be. Let me tell you, visibility now can be exchanged for money. Oh my God. Sorry guys, I like being dramatic, but sometimes when I go on TikTok, I'll just be seeing people that, may God have mercy on me, they don't have sense, but they have followers. I said, my body used to shake. Even when I started taking LinkedIn seriously, I said, I will see some people, when they are talking, you're like, what's this person even saying? But they have followers. They have people who are just shouting, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, just keep talking. So part of the things I've said, number 1, accountability. Number 2, build an online, oh my goodness, my phone. Sorry, give me a moment. I would come back. Lizzie, please take this. My phone is about to shut down in 20 minutes. So I don't want my network to start up again. So please just take.
Okay, not a problem. Not a problem. We'll get to you as soon as you can take it because I want to make you finish that conversation. They switch me for Bele. This particular question, just take it that this question came from me. I mean, they asked the question because I mean they chop my business money. I mean they put everything together. God have mercy upon me. God have mercy upon us. Okay, so this other question, Seven. I mean they ask them. Mrs. Evans. My very own leader, my Judy, please. How do you stay motivated and confident when you're pursuing new income opportunities? Now, I want you to be specific around male-dominated spaces. Okay, I know that now we're doing the gender equality, gender balance, but there are spaces where we know that this industry is male-dominated. If you're pursuing an income opportunity in that industry or in that space, how do you stay motivated and confident to pursue those opportunities? Judy, do you want to take this first before Mrs. Evans goes? I'm sorry, Judy, please, before you go on, Favor, I'm laughing at you. Before you go on, I've been seeing a lot of hand raised. I take them to be errors because they've dropped. So if you do have a question at any point again, feel free to raise your hand and ask your question. You will keep the audience. Okay, Judy, tell me how you stay motivated. Maybe I can pick 1 or 2 things from yours. How you stay motivated and confident in male-dominated spaces.
Yeah. So I was really enjoying what Dr. Vivian was saying because it was making lots of sense. I hope she joins again very soon. So staying motivated in male-dominated spaces can be crazy, right? Because as women, we are the homemakers, we are working, we are doing a business, we're doing everything together. How do we stay motivated? Only today I was saying to myself, man, I need a house help. And having a house help in the abroad is not very easy to come by. But I was like, how would I be able to do all of this together? How do I able to stay motivated? Sometimes I just want to pack it all up and say, you know what, let me just do my traditional job and stay be able to take care of my kids, do everything that I need to do. But when you have that talent in you, you cannot but try to give it out there. Someone did say that not doing what you're doing can cause a generation So some people are, God has made it that they have to work for you, they have to learn from you, and not being there to actually showcase your talent. You're costing somebody else that opportunity to be able to, like, for instance, in my case, get into tech. So if I say, oh, I'm not going to be motivated, I'm costing 1, 2, 3, 100 people that opportunity to get into tech. So stay motivated is just the support system. You should have a good support system. Your husband, your family members, your children, your sisters, your women group, all of those are support systems that you would be able to, glean on to be able to stay motivated. Now, for your husband, some husbands would not actually understand. Oh, you're not having enough time for the home. You're going from one networking event or the other. I'm laughing because, yes, sometimes it could feel like that. There was a time I had to keep on going back to back networking events. And, it's when you go for networking, physical networking events, that your eyes get to be open. You get to actually meet industry leaders and you're able to actually position yourself. And I had to beg my husband, please, for now, I may not be able to do the school runs. You would have to do the school runs. And it's not just doing the school runs. You have to bring the kids from school. Luckily, I don't have so little kids anymore. So my kids are not so little anymore. But yeah, you have to get them from school, make sure they have dinner, make sure they're attending their virtual lessons and all of that. And that was not his what I call it, his responsibility then. So yes, it's supposed to be a mom and dad responsibility, but it was mainly me that was doing that. But because I had to go for networking events to boost and position myself, I had to, ask for his help in that regard. Now, he did help me, but I can understand some men who, no, what are you going to do all of that for? You've got a good job. Why do you need to do all of this? Why do you need to do the extra? Why do you need to, to do a side hustle? You have to be there for the kids. You have to be there for the family and all of that. So make sure your support system is really solid. Talk to your husband, talk to your children, talk to them and make them see the need for you to be doing, the need for you to do what you're actually doing, you get. And also, other women that are also navigating these spaces, you can actually form a community. So I think the Virtuous Tribe is actually such a community where this kind of women, and Elizabeth, you need to actually invite me to your Virtuous Tribe. Who knows? We may be able to learn one or two things from each other. You can never join so many communities. You actually have to be in a community that would actually motivate you. So have those kind of communities, those same set of women that have the same mindset, not the ones that are gossiping or trying to show off. I bought this human hair today. I bought this Birkin bag tomorrow. No, not those kind of women. The women that are doing exactly the same thing that you're doing, have them in your community. Share ideas, bounce off ideas. And also, like you said, it's not as if we're trying to say we're better than the men or whatever, but remember that your perspective and resilience as a woman, they are invaluable strengths. So those your strengths, leverage on your strengths as a woman. There's sometimes men cannot multitask. So for instance, we are women, we're doing the traditional job, we're working as moms, we're wives, we're mothers, we're sisters, we're daughters, we are doing all of these at the same time. So leverage on your resilience as a woman. Know that you have invaluable strength. Surround yourself with the right community, the right support system. And I think that will keep you staying motivated in a male-dominated space. Yeah, that's it for me.
Oh, interesting. You have said it all. Enobong Asibong Ibe, is this a question you have? You have a question to ask? Enobong, do you have a question?
Yeah. Yes, I have a question, but I
Okay,
also
go ahead.
wanted to say one thing or more.
Okay, sure, go ahead. We're listening.
Yeah, the one thing I wanted to say is that I observed that I think there are men on the platform, so I would like us to be inclusive also because it's almost like it's a women forum. We are really addressing, things. I understand anyway, but I observe that there are men, so I think we should be more inclusive also. But then my own question is, I saw the topic. My question is that topic. That's what made me to join the That's what made me to join this today, for something about financial balance. You understand? The art of, is it, I can't really remember, but that's my thought. And I heard that you guys had already said something about it, and I just wanted, even if it's a one-liner, to just hear and strengthen that about financial balance, the art of mastering money. Can anyone do that, please? I'm sorry if I'm taking us
Okay,
back.
no, but oh no, no, not a problem. Sure. Firstly, it is a women's meeting. It is for women to talk about money. The Virtuous Tribe is a the women only tribe. So the men are
Okay.
welcome to stay because, of course, they have wives, sisters, daughters, best friends that they might just share some advice with. And then the topic is mastering the art of financial balance. And financial balance is um the way we define it is how you make money, manage it, and multiply it. So it's not enough that you're making money, you also have to manage properly. It's not enough that you're managing, you have to multiply it. So we haven't gone too far. We have some guiding questions. We've talked about creative ways to discover, creative ways to generate income and how to identify those opportunities. And our speakers have said things around look within yourself. What is that thing that people compliment you about? Oh, you do your makeup so well. It means that you could be getting paid for doing makeup for other people. It could be that people tell you that, oh, you write so well. You could make money from writing. Some people could just say, oh, you have such a lovely handwriting. So look for those things that people compliment you about, things that are within you that you can monetize. Our speakers have also said to look at your low-hanging fruits. Look at your background. There's something that you have grown up to see. For instance, I attended an event of the shoemaker girl. I don't remember exactly. Where she said her father is a shoemaker. That's how she went into shoemaking because of something she learned in the background. We talked about the example of Vicky James, whose mother used to sew, used to be a regular traditional seamstress, and Vicky went into fashion. And there are other examples like that. So if it's not something that comes from your inside, it might be something influenced by your environment. We have said to share from your experiences. You've been through a tough time, and you know that there are people who are going through that time. The experience is not unique to you. Somebody else has gone through it and somebody else will go through it. So it is only imperative that you can learn from that experience and teach people what you have learned. You can become a coach on that particular field, say divorce, say obesity, say health. It could be any topic that you feel like, okay, this really hurts me and I'm happy to have come out of it and I want to help other people come out of it. Then you can monetize that as well. We've talked about how to make money outside of your traditional career, which is the regular 9 to 5. We talked about knowing your talent, saving up. Dr. Vivian has said, don't quit your job. She shouted at us not to quit our jobs. Mrs. Heaven says you need to be strategic. Count your costs before you get started so that you don't get started building your house and then halfway you realize that you don't have the materials to finish it. So we're still on the topic, if that answers your question, Inobo. Okay, amazing. I see Dr. Vivi is back. Dr.
Yes,
Vivi.
thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Dr. Vivian, we're currently talking about how to stay motivated and confident when pursuing new income opportunities. And Judy has said that as women, we have the superpower of being able to multitask. So we should move in confidently. We should not be afraid of taking over the space. Mrs. Evans was about to speak, but I see that you're here now. So do you want to throw some light on the topic? And we'd like to have you finish your conversation too from before.
Okay, I am super sorry for the breaking transmission. I actually thought that my phone was plugged in. Like I said, I'm currently in an event as well. So I was hoping that would have been taken care of. I'm super sorry for everybody who is here and
it's okay, we forgive you. Your face is fine
thank
enough.
you.
I'll hold it against you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so like we said again, I'm going to recap because I noticed that a few other persons joined in. Okay, so we're talking about how to initially the question was seeming as though someone who wanted to leave the traditional path to chase their dreams. So I probably put a little stall right there at someone or whoever it is trying to leave what they are doing now because they are ambitious over a business that they've never even tried. So people have not even tried probably even marketing other people's ideas, but now they want to start their business, and all of a sudden they just want to leave completely from their traditional consistent pay. And I said, no, don't do that yet. So I talked about, first of all, you have to make a plan, do an audit, financial audit of all the monies that has come in. So this, thank God, this is the end of year, so you would have that simple. In fact, some banks now, you can even find an audit, financial audit for the week, for the month, for the whole year if you want. So you might want to find out what has been taking your money. Where is my money? Okay, so that's what you should be asking right now before you think of venturing into something like business, right? So part of the things you might want to do as well, I said, was under planning ahead, is start building online momentum. Find people who will be needing help of what you can offer right now. So let's say you are a singing coach. Well, I sing. I'm sure a lot of people here too who at one point probably lost touch in their music ministry, and then they are hoping that somebody gets to, let's say you
Dr. Vivian, there's nothing you've not done except sell human parts, but go ahead.
I wrote it. I wrote serial. I wrote serial entrepreneur. You should believe me. Okay, so as I was saying, so part of the things you might want to do is, okay, start building online momentum. And as simple as building online momentum, let's say TikTok now, which is a place where crazy people like, I'm so sorry if you're a TikTok influencer here. I really apologize. I didn't really mean to say that. But I'm saying that there isn't rigid rules on TikTok. It means that anybody can literally blow. And as somebody who would want to coach people into singing, you might as well just leverage that TikTok and Instagram as well. So you might just carelessly sing, record yourself singing, dance and all that, build momentum. One of the things I've said, and I've also insisted in some of my meetings, is that energy can not be destroyed, right? This is pure physics, but it can be transformed from one state to the other. So most times if you have an online platform, the goal might not necessarily, the goal is to grow on all platforms, but if you put energy in one, it's easier for you to transfer your communities that you have built on one to all your other communities. So for me now, for the people in Phoenix Gates, we discussed it yesterday in our meeting. From next week, we're going to be pushing YouTube. So if you're interested in that, you might just want to reach out. But that's not what I'm essentially picking on today. So I say plan ahead, accounting, your financial audit for what you've done with your money. Then another thing you would want to start doing now is to start separating money from the monies you are already being paid. So you can decide now. Thank God it's a New Year resolution. For me, I don't have a problem with that, right? Resolution is resolution, whether it's New Year or not. You might decide that 50% of the monies that come in from your salary, you will not touch it, even if the earth has to break, right? You're going to start probably calling it your business money or your ideation money or money to pay for coaching or money, anything that you need in that direction, all the help you need in the direction of that business, you can insist and say that this money, no matter what happens, I'm not going to touch it. So we've gone from planning now. We started a little implementation. So I said most times people online want you to build trust on your videos. Sometimes I've done that separately. So I'm trying to break into YouTube. So sometimes in the midnight, I'll just stop my camera and be saying on my own. You have to get used to it. One of the things I've realized in this day and age is that your visibility, that's what they call clout, can be exchanged for money. So you're laughing at that girl who is wearing short skirt and dancing. Well, I won't do it. I will never do it. I don't advise anybody in my circle to do it. But if she does it long enough, 1 year, 2 years, 1,000 days, very soon, that is our influencer. Oh. So this is an opportunity every single. So rather than laughing at people, no, I'm serious. So rather than laughing at people, when you see people, what's the word now? Pushing or enacting or ejecting energy in a particular direction, what you do is you slip back and think, how can I also show up? See what Elizabeth is doing here. How can I show up for myself? How can I offer myself? How can I build my momentum as well? So one of the things I would also advise is maybe you should take on less demanding roles in whatever company. So I know about Elizabeth very closely. I knew that she had to negotiate with her employers that she would prefer to go on remote. And guess what? They didn't fire her. They said, oh yeah, go ahead. So it means that sometimes you probably haven't started exploring your options because you have not even conceived it. So the essence is not that you you cannot earn more money. It's just that you've not even sat down to tell yourself it's time to earn more money. So part of the things that you're going to actually also do in your planning ahead, part of your financial audits might also be you sitting down and coming up with a financial goal that will also help you understand that I'm actually just playing here. I've not really earned the money I'm looking to earn per month. Okay, so I've talked about taking less demanding roles, then get a team to help. For me, everybody who knows me and the Phoenix Gates, I always cry, get a virtual assistant. Currently, some of them are on this call. I think I saw Chidebera and a few other person. Get a help that will probably help you build your online momentum while you're facing your probably on ground jobs. So the thing is this, you already have a salary coming in per month. Get a virtual help. The person can now be building your business. Your business can now, and the thing is, one of the reasons why virtual assistants are not so, what's the word now, effective for most people is that they have not sat down to determine what do I want from you. And this is what's on. If you've not been on LinkedIn before, you won't even know what success on LinkedIn looks like. So you might need to get a coach again, which is me, right? Who would help you probably sit down and know what success is for that particular brand you're trying to build. So I said, ensure that your personal brand is literally all over. Get that person to be doing all that, making sure that you do your videos at least once in a year. No, once a week or maybe once in 2 weeks. Just find a way to consistently be out there. If you're on LinkedIn and on Phoenix Gates, I always scream it, go on lives. If you have friends who do organize lives often, rally around them, strengthen them, show up, speak on their platforms. If there are topics that are related to your niche, request to speak on it. You're already building momentum. By the time you're already getting clients from online, when your clients start becoming higher, let's say you are now charging, let's say $100 per role or per person that you're taking care of, you find out that even you save, by the time you start making $1,000 per month or $2,000 per month or $3,000 per month, nobody will tell you, will just come and negotiate with your boss. In fact, you're the one that will be telling your boss that, sir, your company is not having enough visibility. Don't you think I should help you in this direction? And by then you already have built some form of a community who can also as well help. So you can be a middleman who will also be earning from them as well. So now I said, get a team to help, then take on more freelance roles. This one now, that's where I also come in, right? Getting jobs that are on the side but online, so that you can now manage them. If you're becoming overpressured, yes, so we'll go back. When you're becoming overpressured, we'll go back to number 3 again. Get help, get a virtual assistant. So I'm going to summarize that now. I'm going to say essentially everything I said was this: you should plan ahead if you want to start your business or you want to take on more daring roles, right? Exactly. If you want to take up more daring roles, you need to plan. I said it again. I said, account for all the monies that have come to you so far. What have you been doing with your salary money? Then make plans. Separate a particular percentage. You can decide whether it's 50%, 60%, 20. In fact, it can even be 10%. Don't look down on your 10%. Yes, you can as well separate 10% and say every month this is money for my either getting a coach. This is money for starting that online training, for that course. You can separate all that, right? Then take on less demanding roles. So if probably you're in operations, you might want to tell them that, please, if they don't mind, can they put you in another place that is more suited to what you want to offer online? Then get a help, virtual assistant, and then take on more freelance roles as well, which is also part of the things I offer as my masterclass. But I think I'm going to stop right here. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that excellent question. I mean, the nuggets hitting me here is so much, but I know that they are calling me on the other side as well. So I don't know, is there any other question you want me to answer before I run right back? Or is this okay?
No, you can go and then come back, because now we're entering, you've talked about making money. Now we're going to the phase of managing money, because it's not enough that we make the money, we also have to manage it properly. And I'll allow Mrs. Heavens. Mrs. Heavens, very briefly, do you want to speak on staying motivated and confident before we proceed into managing money?
Okay, I'm just going to, as much as possible, keep it short. Honestly, being within those roles or areas where you are male dominated, I believe that you always have a picture before you. And for some people, they will say your why. And so for me personally, I would say my why has kept me in those places. You find yourself, I would say way back, I think I ventured into volunteering and being in the NGO space exactly 24 years ago. And I remember by the first year, I was in a particular role, and the next year there was a role that they wanted me to go for, which was vice president. And being a vice president at that time meant that people had to vote for you. And I can remember saying, I don't even want it. I don't want to be a part of it. I will help the people. But the only reason why I ran for that office, because they had said, oh, I bought your form already. And I said I wasn't going to do it. But some guy came up and said, well, you shouldn't give her the office. That his manifesto was just a summary of how I shouldn't have the office because I'm a woman. And of course, my antenna stood up. I honestly grew up a tomboy. And so the first thing that came to my mind was the quotes that they had, leadership, that says service to humanity is the best work of life. And at the time, I mentioned to them that I was looking at this organization, even though I said I wasn't going to run, and now I'm going to run. Immediately, I append my signature to it and I came up. I love a good challenge. And I came up and I said to them, this is what the creed says of this organization. And I am running for the organization that I want my future daughter or daughters to be a part of. And I mentioned all the things I had done before then. And I mentioned that the better man should win. And the better man here today is Olaomi Buraimo at that time. And by the time I was done with my manifestos, I won with a landslide. And majority of the people who were there were men. So it was not about just coming on as a woman, it was bringing value. So number one, I would say that you have to be confident in yourself, know your why. Always ensure that even if you're not the best in the room, you're one of the best. Of course, sometimes you're in a circle where you have to work harder as a woman. Some people might be delusional and say, it's not true. Well, I'm a woman and I've lived through those realities where some of the things they're like, you're a woman, we can't give you this job, maybe you should tell your husband this and that. But personally, I know why I'm where I am. And I tell them I know what I'm doing. I'm an expert at this. I'm the best man for this job. So honestly, I will tell you, if you're in a male-dominated space or work environment, number one, don't carry it on your head that I'm a woman and I'm a woman. You're a person right there. Now, you might have some hurdles that you have to jump through that others will not jump through. For instance, they're not going to give birth. You're the one that is going to be pregnant. The office might feel like the few months you have to take out is probably a waste of their money, which is not true. The fact that women are multifaceted, multi-dimensional, we multitask a lot, there should be something that you can bring to the table. And I'll tell you honestly, be confident in yourself. Don't beat yourself down before you get there. If you beat yourself down before you get there, every push that is against you, you feel is because you're a woman. Some of those push is not because you're a woman, it's just because you're challenging the next person who is in that space. That means you're coming on as you are the better person, you know better, maybe you deliver a better job. So if I'm in a space, whether in media, whether on event, I realize that over the years, as you prove yourself, people will come and tell you, oh, that lady, she gives her best. Yes, they might give you names like that lady is Iron Lady. Yeah, I take it. I'm good at that. Yes, if being an Iron Lady means that I'm very particular about etiquette, I'm very particular about personal space and the like, then is good. I'm very particular about integrity. So I would just tell you, number one, be confident. Number two, know your why. Why are you there? Bring extra. If people are giving 50, give 100%. That way, you stand out, woman or no woman. There are some positions when they're looking for the best person, they will pick the best person regardless of being a woman or not. So that's what I would say. And I think if you are able to implement and know the reason why you are there, and don't allow yourself to be intimidated, you're not intimidated yourself. Because some people, that's why when I coach people, especially when you're speaking or coaching you about monetization, I tell yourself, don't get on the platform and the first thing you say is, I'm not really good at this, but I'll try my best. You already beat yourself down. So when you go into a male-dominated space and you are carrying to a side, I think some people also have not had the chance. Maybe you went to a girls-only school. You've not had the chance to really liaise with men, so you maybe think they have horns or they are different. I think you should just go out for events. Go to places where you see them. Even as a minister, I find myself in those places. They might invite you to a church, you are ministering, and most people there are men. I've been there. Well, there was a meeting I was invited for to handle healing and prophetic meeting in November. I didn't even see, yeah, there were men there, but I wasn't there because of them. There was a big why. The why is the Father sent me here. So, I mean, what's your why? Why are you there? Thank you.
Wow, Mrs. Heavens, all over the room, please can we give her a round of applause? A round of applause. Our time is running, and I feel like I don't want this to end, but we have to keep to our word and keep to time. We are supposed to exit at 8 p.m. What? So I'm just going to throw around 2 questions about managing money, as well as 2 questions around multiplying money. Enobong, I see your hand is still raised. Is this a question or is this from the last time? Enobong, can you hear me? Okay, I'll take that to be an error. But if you do have a question, you feel free to ask. And I'm going to come back to Judy. Dr. Vivian, if you can speak, please let me know that you can speak, because I really like you to hear your thoughts on this. We're talking about managing money, and we probably have spoken about this in passing, but let's dot on it, right? How would you let's put it this way: what strategies or systems have helped you to take control of your finances and reduce financial stress drastically? So what systems have you put in place? What strategies have you implemented that that's helped you take control of your finances and you have reduced financial stress? Judy, we'll hear from you, we'll hear from Mrs. Heavens, and if Dr. Vivian is around, we'll hear from her as well. Judy, the mic is yours. Judy, I'm not sure you can hear me. If you can hear me, please emojize. Please, I'm not mute, am I? I'm audible, right? Just emojize if you can hear me. Let me be sure it's not coming from my end. Okay, great, thank you. I think Judy's probably stepped away from her device, so is having network issues. Dr. Vivian, can you speak? Oh, I hate that you have another meeting right now, because I really want to hear from you. But Judy, when you are here, please signal me. You can just use the comments when you can speak. But Mrs. Heavens, I will allow you answer that question so that we can go ahead. Please, if you have any questions, raise your hand and ask. Or otherwise, just take notes and be telling me I hear you and be giving me emoji. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mom.
So I hope I'm getting it right. Speaking to managing your money, right? And taking charge of your
strategies or systems that have helped you take control of your finances and reduce financial stress.
Okay, so I'm just going to say that thank you so much for the question, because of the importance of managing the money is such sorry, I'm a bit distracted. Okay, so managing the money, I will go on a personal note, especially because of the things that happen around us, and we want to be realistic that a lot of things happen in the community, in the society. You need money for so many things. And there's a possibility, just like Dr. Vivian mentioned earlier on, when she first of all came in, that you're just taking your money and you are spending it because maybe you have rent, maybe you have fees, and you realize that as the children, even though you tell yourself, oh, this school, you're going to take the children to a particular kind of school or you don't want to spend beyond this, and then you get to some schools and you're like, oh no, this is not the school for us. Then you get to the schools where you want your kids to be at, and they're charging millions, and you decide, okay, that's where you want your children to be. There's the rent, there's the kind of place you want to stay, there's the business. I love my sister that mentioned bag, those bags that you see, and then you're like, oh, I need one of these bag and those kind of things. But what I've done is, I realized that there was a post I made. It was one of my monetization posts also on LinkedIn. I made that post about how the algorithm was after me. What did I mean by that? Every time I open LinkedIn, not LinkedIn, Instagram especially, when I'm on Instagram, whether I like it or not, things start popping up, things that I love, because you've searched for it and the algorithm knows you. So it's checking, the algorithm is showing me freshwater pearls, it's showing me tweed, it's showing me the shoes and lovely things that I like. But I decided instead of just going to those things and buying, because I know myself, I can decide I like this shoe and then buy it for and I might not buy it for a long time and then just go ahead and buy. But what I've decided is instead of just doing that, while I know I need to spend money on some things that I like, I put aside money for development. So just like people are coming to me to have their clarity calls on monetization, public speaking, or any other thing, I'm also paying to develop myself even further. That's investment in myself. I'm also putting aside money. I'll have my app on where I know that I'm pushing in money in terms of getting shares in America, in Canada, in some other places where I know that this is growing. You understand what I'm saying? Your own might not be, and people think it's far-fetched. Your own might not be buying shares abroad, because I like those kind of things because it's beyond you. My children, I can hand over to my children if I want. I can increase my portfolio. I can move it elsewhere. It's something that is there. I'm not just going to sell them. One of those things exactly, bamboo is a good one. So now, if you realize that maybe you don't even have that kind of money, and people think that the kind of money you need for such things has to be big, it's not necessarily so. Sometimes what you have is a $5. $5 times maybe 1,007 that it is now is still not mega money. Sometimes the money that you use to buy credit, sometimes the MTN will send me, oh, you're on silver, you are on gold. I'm like, how much does it take to be on silver? How much am I even spending on data? So what I do is sometimes when something comes to my spirit, I talk myself down. Like there's this hair that I was like, allow me, you have enough human hair. What are you going to use it for? It's better, since you can use this money for human hair, you can as well save it. For people that you're not even buying shares, you can look for, those accounts. Even Access has it, all those kind of accounts have it, where you can put a standing order that they will take 5k out of your money every month. You'll be surprised. Or they'll take 20k, 10k. Everybody here, if I ask you, you're probably compassionate people like me. If someone comes to meet me, they need this money. Before you know it, I'm like, oh, take. But as I walk in the journey, I realize that I'm very perceptive. Lord, should I give this person? If he says no, is no. Before I'll probably feel, oh my God, oh no. But I know what God is trying to do. He's trying to talk to us about building wealth. Instead, I'll take that money and save it. Some of you might be part of why some people don't even save and get on top of their money is because they think that the money they're saving is too small. You're collecting your salary, you don't want to save that 5k. You're like, 5k times 10, that's 50k. It's not much. If you had been keeping that 5k in a place in an account that has interest that you cannot break for the next 2-3 years, you realize that your money is growing and you can invest it. So for me, ask yourself, and I got that lesson from someone who used to take alcohol. The guy said he decided that every time he feels like taking alcohol, instead of taking it, I will save that money. He said as he saved the money, he came back 2 years later, the kind of money he had, it was ridiculous. So I realized that it was in the small things. So for you, it might be investing somewhere. For another person, it might be saving. For some, it might be, a lot of us make money and we're not saving one bit. We are not investing one kobo. Some do ajo, yes, and you pack the ajo. What do you do with the ajo? You collect the ajo. For some people that might not understand ajo, some people call it a susu, those kind of things. It might be the smallest ajo. You might not even need it. Sometimes you're thinking to yourself, there was this ajo that I did, I think maybe 20k. At the end of the day, I thought, how much is this thing? When they said it's 20k per month, how many months? I said, let me even pay for a few months. Now, you might look at me and say, I don't even need that 20k ajo, because how can you do ajo every month of 20k and then pay them 5 months and say, I'll pay the remaining 5 months some months later? But I decided it doesn't really matter. What matters is I'm getting that money, I'm using to buy shares. So it's just taking a conscious effort. Where should I put my money? If you've decided you're doing a course or you're, for instance, coaching people, when my money comes, you've paid your tithe, what are you doing with the rest? So you have to take it, and you have to learn to say no to yourself and what society says. I went for a book launch today, and one of our friends called us out, and I told the person sitting by me that they're going to call us out. You will see. So they called us out, and because they were putting mic on everybody's mouth, and then they said, oh, I'm going to put you under pressure. How much are you going to give? I just took the mic and said, I'm sorry, darling, I can't be put under pressure. I'm going to buy a copy for an undisclosed amount. I'm not in the society to please anybody. If I wanted to, I would break all my stuff that I have, put an interest together and buy one big car that I really love. But I've told myself, instead of that, I will build wealth. Now, wealth to you might be different depending on where you are. Start from where you are. The 1K you can save, the 5K you can save, the $5 you can put in one share each. Money comes in, do something first. Don't treat yourself first after your tithe. Save first, invest first. Me, I like the invest because the invest, I can't just go there and break it. You understand? So it's there. It's money I can't touch. So find a way to do that. Even if you are helping others, whether it's rent you want to do or whatever it is, make sure that there's something you are putting aside. Ask people around you. Some people probably have not heard of Bamboo. Bamboo helps you to be able to buy shares abroad. There are other apps that can help you. I'm very particular about that one. That way I can do my research, know what's high earning, know what has low risk, medium risk, and the like. I hope that helps.
It's more than helps, Mrs. Evans. It's more than helps. All this one that you have said, yeah, you are on the same. Maybe I'm a bit tired than me, Shabo. I know I'm in the right direction. Emike, after my tithe, I'll treat myself to baby girl life for ball. Small. That's the point. So Judy's here. Judy, the question is on multiplying money, and it says, what systems or strategies have helped you take control of your finances and reduce financial stress? So it's on managing money, not multiplying.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Elizabeth. So I was just going to say too that, man, you only live once. So yes, very good to invest, but you have to take care of yourself. You have to enjoy yourself. That is my take. So yeah, ways to manage money is savings, of course. So once you, these days, like I mentioned earlier, as a woman, these days, not like the days of our parents where the dad was one who was bringing all the money and the woman just sits down, whatever money she makes is hers. These days, because of the economy that we're in right now, women are taking the bill up. So sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 40-30 or whatever. So what I would advise, or how I've managed money, is that once I take out my wants, my needs, I would take out like a 50% of the money that I need. So for my salary, I have this 50-30-20% rule. So 50% is for needs, 30% is for wants. Now, needs are bills, let's call them bills, yeah, basically the bills. So what part of the bill are you taking care of? Are you taking care of the feeding? Are you taking care of the children's clothing, whatever? 50% of your salary, you can put that aside. Now, you may not spend, depending on how much you earn, you may not spend the whole 50% for that need. But once you have that strategy, once you have that in you, that 50% goes for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings, it helps you to be able to manage money. So 50% for needs, some people are earning £10,000 a month. 50% of that is £5,000. I know the more you earn, the more money you make, the more the more you spend. But if you have that 50% for need and you don't exhaust it, please throw it back into your savings. Now 30% for wants. You only live once. Enjoy yourself. Get let's say, enjoy yourself. Get whatever you want to get. You cannot be making so much money and looking haggard. As a woman, I'm talking from a woman perspective now. As a woman, you should look good. You should even reflect that money that you're actually making. You want to go into business. Nobody wants to do business with someone who doesn't look good. So spend that money on the hair. Yeah, spend it. I'm not saying go crazy buying hair that you cannot afford or bags that you cannot afford, but still spend it. Give the children a treat. Take them out. Enjoy yourselves. Take them to the cinema. When I say needs, also investment is a need. So yes, that 50% could also go for investment. Now, a lot of us don't really do a lot of investment. Doing shares and stock and bonds and all of that can be very, very vague to a lot of us, for me especially, it's kind of vague to me, and it's something that I hope to invest in. But there are other form of investments that you can do. You can even invest in your friend's business if you know it's like a profitable business. You can do kind of investment, especially when you know the return on investment. You can do land buying. You can is a land bank. Recently, someone told me about buying gold, just buying gold, block of gold, as some sort of investment. So it's something you keep, and you know gold will never lose its value. So if things like stock and bonds, for me, it is vague. I know a lot of people, I've tried to attend some coaching where they teach you about stock and all those form of investment. I am not still getting it. Maybe I've not settled down to understand it. But if you don't get it, there are other form of investment. You can invest in land. You can invest in off-sale properties. Is it off? Sorry. Off-plan properties. You can buy those kind of properties, off-plan properties, or you could even do cheaper investment. It could just be maybe a gold earring. In another 2 years, that gold earring is not going to be the same price that you bought it. So that 50% for needs is not for you to go and buy hair and all of that. Those hair and all the other things that you buy, they don't retain value, but buy things that would have value, your bills, investments and all of that. Then 20% for savings. Always keep that money aside for savings. So it could be a job contribution, because sometimes if we are seeing the money there, you would just spend it. But if you have it in like a sort of contribution, you know that every month you're dedicated to taking that money aside and, you know, saving it, then you are able to save properly. And now always have a plan for your contributions. So the contributions, I have a friend who, whenever she pays contributions, because I run a contribution community, and whenever she takes a contribution, she's using it to pay her bills. And I'm like, if you know you're not financially stable enough to do this contribution, you shouldn't be doing it, because why would you have so much debt pile down only for you to get your contribution and use it to pay? So a lot of people I know. And yes, it could be something that you're doing contribution to be able to pay off for something and all of that. That is good. You're saving to be able to invest in something, or you're saving to be able to buy something, or saving to be able to, you know, settle something, but not putting yourself in debt because you want to save. So you should be able to know what amount you want to save. Now, this is for me personally, 50, 30, 20. For you, it could be 40, 40, 20. It could be anyhow you want to share it, but you should actually have a ratio of how you're going to be able to spend your money. Another thing that I say is like managing money, right? I was saying to a friend yesterday, she's a childminder, and she has a lot of clients. She has got a lot of clients coming to her. She's like, what is £10? I beg, I'm not going to take that money. It's too small money and all of that. And I said to her, babe, you know what you're going to do? This new year you're coming, all that £10, £20, £5 that you feel is nothing to you, because taking care of an extra child is not going to take anything from you, right? So what I would advise you, get a box. All that £10 that they are paying you that you feel is nothing to you, put it in a box, and at the end of the year, break the box, and you will see the amount of money that has come to you. So we should be able to manage money. For me, I have said to myself that 2025, I am not going to buy takeout. So what I'm just going to do is to, whatever I plan, that I will start making meals. I'm not going to buy takeout. I'm not going to spend on McDonald's and all of that. What I'm going to do is I will make the meals. Anytime I feel like taking a takeout, I'll put that money aside. I'll put it in a box. At the end of the year, I will see how much I've been able to save. So it just kind of gives me a sense of, oh, okay, this is what I've been able to save. Because sometimes you do not realize how you are wasting that money. You don't realize how much you're losing from doing some sort of things. Like, for instance, my friend who has been rejecting jobs that are just £10. That what am I going to use £10 for? How much is £10 and all of that? You don't realize how much you have lost. But if you're able to put it aside, and it may be different for you, it may be something else that you're doing that for me, okay, let me even use myself as an example. My tech courses, and I'm like, how much do Nigerian people want to pay me? I cannot teach Nigerian people. I want to be earning in pounds. That is what I say. But I've said to myself that, okay, so both Nigerian clients, both UK clients, both American clients, I'll take all of them. So the ones that are in Nigeria, if I feel that money is not good enough, or it's not because of the exchange rate. So when you are trading at 2,000 naira to £1, by the time you change it, it may not really make anything to you. But if you just keep it aside for one good year and you're able to change it, then maybe to make some sort of sense, right? So in managing money, those little money that we feel, oh, they are money that I really don't need, I really don't, what can it do for me? Just keep them aside, Try to, see how much you'll be able to get out of it in the next 1 year. And you'll be amazed at how much money you might have been losing or wasting if you are not doing that. So that's my take on that.
That is a lot. I like the fact that you brought home the point around other things to invest in. Mrs. Evans had talked about buying shares, stock, bonds. I also am not very educated around those things. I know that I use PiggyVest. So when there's an investment opportunity, maybe real estate, buy for like 5,000 naira say a share, they call it, or a portion, it could be 0.001. Sometimes they bring out things like corporate notes. And I know that, this money is sitting here, it's going to accumulate interest anyway. So I could as well just bank it into because on PiggyVest, they have Piggy Bank and Piggy Flex. So the monies I put in Flex are like monies that, okay, when I don't want to touch these monies, but where there's a pressing need, I go and pull out from the Flex. And I like that Flex limits you by 4 withdrawals a month. So a lot of the times I find that I'm using that Flex money, instead of using it to flex on earth, I'm using it to flex online, if that makes sense. So I just buy like corporate bonds. I don't know what they mean, but I know that at the end of 6 months, they will give me some certain interest on it that I would not have accumulated if that money was in my commercial bank, or I would have probably used it to buy pizza, Domino's pizza and ice cream or something. Maybe not Domino's, but you get the point. So thank you, Judy. I like that you buy gold, buy dollars. I don't know where Aboki gets dollar from, but go to Aboki, negotiate, buy dollars, buy gold. I promise you, gold never goes out of stock. Real estate has this turnaround, I don't know what they call it, off plan. I think it's off plan, where you can buy for you can buy 500K, and then in 6 months you sell it and then get like 20, 30, 40, 50. They really have high returns on it. So if you have 100K you're not using anymore, you can do an agile group with your friends. Or let's put this money together. We'll buy these plots of land. At the end of 6 months, we're now going to split the money amongst ourselves. Sometimes you can do stuff like that and you buy to own. So there are real estate companies now that are doing sort of agile to buy a land. So they'll have like 10 people. Over the course of 10 months, everybody will pay certain amounts. So the way of collecting the money, you have a plot of land in like an area where the money can afford. So things like that actually, yeah, and Abong says you can buy real estate by paying a monthly installment. I did that. I bought one in Ibadan where I had to pay like 100K up front, and then over 6 months I split the bill. That money it paid me, but I mean that 6 months was very tough. But I told myself that I must have an asset this year, and I've made the resolution that every year I'm buying an asset. I don't care how little it is, but I'm buying an asset in my name. And today I'm a proud landowner. I'll just sit down, tell my own house, I get land. They always treat me, they give me joy. I'm like, I have land though. Sometimes I'll just say, okay, what do I want? Should I build estate? Should I do bungalow? I say, okay, leave it. The only thing I wish we have in Nigeria is I wish we had like the way we have for real estate, I wish we have for houses that can support salary earners. But that's one thing. I mean, mortgage plans, okay. I'm not talking about this 200 and 400 million naira houses that are very small, but we move. Our time is fast spent, and I'll just ask one question on multiplying money. We've touched on making. Oh, nice. We've touched. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm saying something. We've touched on making money, managing money. We want to talk about multiplying money. So, multiplying. What are some ways women can explore passive wealth building opportunities? I feel like we've talked about this in passing when we talked about making money, on any ways to generate income. So maybe I'll just push that question to be over time for all of my speakers. Over time, how has your relationship with money evolved? And what advice would you give to us to help to shift our mindset that, oh, we can grow financially, okay? Financial growth is not like you're putting bean seed in the ground and then it's grow. It doesn't grow like that. But you can grow financially because it starts from your mindset. So tell me how, Ms. Heavens, Judy, and Dr. Vivian, tell me how your relationship with money has evolved over time. And then I'm going to make an announcement because there's a wolf that you must have. There's a wolf. Ms. Heavens, do you want to take this first? So let's see how we can close up in 15 minutes.
Okay, I'll do just that. So I'm going to say that compared to before now, or when I was far younger, you know that thing that I mentioned about people being afraid of money? Not so much of being afraid, because I grew up, seeing my dad being a businessman, selling cars, having hotels and the like. But personally, in my own personal journey, I think while God was trying to break me, and God does that thing where He severs you from all those physical things, and then He takes it out of your heart. I think I took it too far, because at a point I just totally divorced myself from it. I was making money, but I will tell you that most of my money I gave it out. I gave them out. Even in my 20s, yes, I had a very good car. I had a sports car. I was okay, but most of the money I gave out. But as I grew older and I started even my own personal monetization journey, apart from taking every other person along, I realized that I wasn't just doing myself a disservice. I was doing the kingdom of God a disservice. Because now, apart from investing, I have other things. Like, for instance, we have missions to Kenya, meaning that money is going there. So if money doesn't come in, or you don't take, you're not serious about making money, how would you be able to rechannel it to what God is doing? So if God says, okay, do this next, yes, God is going to send men. He said, I have many men in the city, but there should still be something in your hands. And then also the advice that I give people, don't be afraid of money. Know that money just loves you. Don't be afraid to talk about money. And because I'm a very kind and compassionate person, even if I do say so myself, I realize that you can be so in that corner where you know your worth, but you're not charging it because you're so kind. And so I don't do that no more. Even if I'm doing a discount, is on purpose. I'm giving back. I know the value of what I'm giving, but I'm not afraid to charge what my value is. Like, for instance, for my monetization clarity call, people come on that call. I've done it through this year as $100, and I've already sent a message to those people who reached out and have not paid that by January is going higher. I'm not going to leave it at that. And so, honestly, I will tell you, just know that, yes, I don't love money, is a servant, but I like money, and money works for me. I need money. Money is a defense. That's what the Bible says. And I've embraced that, and I realized that even God expects me to stand in the place of strategy when it comes to money, open my basket, pour my oil into those drums, and let's, have that net breaking catch. So that's where I'm at in my mindset when it comes to money now. I send it on errands, but it's meant for me.
Let somebody shout hallelujah. Ah. If you didn't say that you were a minister, I would have said, have you considered ministry? Because, man, I feel like I want to be on your coaching call. I want to spend time to talk to you. So if you're on this call today, I'm taking attendance, 23 people minus my 3 speakers, so 20 of us plus myself. So if you're on this call today, and you would like to know how to monetize your passion, your skills, your go that God has placed in your hands, and maybe you're saying, oh, my dreams are too big, talk to Mrs. Heavens. And Mrs. Heavens, what's the charge currently? Because she's giving us a 30% off. Please help me drop the link in the comments. How do we access it? 30% off. So go ahead.
If you go to the seller link, I think you posted it earlier on, although that seller link, you will see every other thing that I have there, including my events, my books, that kind of thing. But you can go to my clarity call, but I was just going to do clarity call, but anything you choose, just let me know and I will give you a code that has to do with maybe the name of this group so that you can get 30% off. You will see my book there. I think my book right now on pre-order is 10,000 something is on monetization. My course is about 150, if I'm not mistaken. My clarity call is 150, which is $100. It's supposed to be more than that, but I mean, you can choose what your price is. That's why I put it at 150. So 30% of whatever you pick, just let Elizabeth know, and then she'll get back to you in terms of the code. But you can check it out through my link on Seller that
Yes,
that she posted.
Yes, please. I've pasted the link again. So I feel like everybody should get on the clarity session. Even if you don't know anything, get on the call and just talk to her. I mean, I'm already enjoying her. So Miss Heavens, she probably be expecting you to repay. I know used to see her from pass on it. Didn't vex. But if you're open, maybe after Miss Heavens, this is open for how long? How long?
I will tell you that this year, because the problem is if you come next year, there might be change in price, but change in price from January 1st, there's a hike, meaning that my clarity calls are going from 100 to maybe 120, 150, depending, we're still deliberating. So, and I don't want anybody to now feel, 30% off would have been cheaper. So do let me know if they are interested, let me know so that I can probably make room for them. Thank you.
Okay, not a problem. Send me a DM, please. Send me a DM. If you don't know how to send me a DM, how can I help you now? Okay, join the Virtuous Tribe and send me a DM. That's all. So send me a DM via the Virtuous Tribe, bit.ly/join TVT. Yes, so I'm the admin there. You find me. Judy, do you want to throw some light on this question? Tell me how your what is it called? Your relationship with money has evolved from over time, right, to where you're at now.
Okay. Thanks a lot for that question. So I will start by saying, if you know me, I am a baby girl for life. So back when I was young in the university, when they give us money for school, I would spend everything on clothes, shoes, and my group of friends and I, we always had this slang that hunger cannot kill you. So we will buy clothes, shoes, and everything that when we go to school, we'll start soaking Gary and all of that. But yeah, over time, I had watched my mom. My mom is a very hardworking, a very resilient person. I'm going to give you a brief story because anybody I'm encouraging about money, I always give them the story about my mom. So when we were growing up, my dad was an architect and he had done a lot of jobs for the state at the time. I think it was Edo State or Delta State. I cannot remember for sure. Maybe Bendel State at that time. And they had not paid him. So he had done a lot of jobs. They had not paid him and there was no money. My mom then was a housewife. She had retired or she just resigned from the civil service. She was doing her business. A business thieves came, they stole. So there was really no money and all of that. And my mom, a very hardworking person, could not just watch and see and just, leave us like that. So what my mom did was something that has kept me pushing till this day. So what my mom did, it has kept me pushing, and I hope it keeps anyone here listening pushing. What my mom did was that my older sisters were in secondary school then, and they were doing food and nutrition. So they used to have this food and nutrition book then, and my mom took the book, open to the place where they make meat pie. She had never made meat pie in her life. She bought flour, bought butter, bought everything to make meat pie and started making meat pie to sell. So she went for the first time, she sold it, money came back, we were happy, we had money in the house. Went for the second time, she sold it and she started selling and making, in fact, it was not a very big business. So we'll wake up in the morning, we'll help my mom, we'll make meat pie, make this before we go to school and all of that. Then all of a sudden, okay, yes, it was Edo Delta State. So all of a sudden, Delta State Governor Ibori had just gotten into office. And one of his commissioners, Commissioner of Education, was my dad's very good friend. So then we used to have it was landline phones. And my dad was, I cannot keep up with paying the house phone and the office phone. So I will keep the office phone and we will give up the house phone. And my mom, resilient woman, she was like, no, we have to keep the house phone. Without them tossing it. That time it was temporarily out of service, so they would say they tossed the line, and she had to do that. And because she was making money and doing business and making money, That day, they had tossed the line already. They had taken it out temporarily out of service. They had already tossed it. But the day she paid and they reconnected the line was the day that my father's friend, who was a commissioner, called him at midnight. I was like, where have you been? I've been trying to call you. Your number has not been going. My dad was like, oh, you should have called the office. He said, no, 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 no. Come to Asaba right now. Come with your proposal. Come with everything. They are trying to do 100 schools in 100 days for Ibori, who had just entered office and all of that. And my dad went with the proposal, went with everything, and they gave him the contract. And I remember then, as far back as whenever I saw the check and it was 100 million. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So that has always, pushed me in my life journey, that if my mom was not sitting down to do anything, if she just said, oh, there's no money, you're the man of the house, you have to bring the money and all of that, that means we might not have ever gotten that contract and we might never have bounced back from where we were. So it has just, made my relationship with money. So after all the young girl and all of that, and I became a woman, a mom, a wife and a mom, I had to sit back to make sure that at every point in time, I am a very supportive wife, and I'm able to take care of the home front, even though when my husband has issues or maybe he's not able to, to carry the home front, I'm able to support it. So that has just really, shaped and redefined my relationship with money. Money is not just to be made by only the man alone. It's not just to be only made. You as a woman, we as women, we have that, responsibility to be able to support the family. At the end of the day, when God was making Adam and Eve, I am not a pastor, but from the Bible stories I know, God made Eve to support support Adam, right? So Eve was there to support Adam. So as a woman, even if you're making all the money in the world, or even if you're not doing anything, have that mentality that you are there to support your husband. And when he is down, you should be able to lift him up. So that has really shaped and redefined my relationship with money. And I'm not just making money for myself to buy hair, I'm making money to be able to, sometimes hold up the home front, be there to be able to take care of bills when one or two things go awry. Maybe my husband is not able to, or for some reason his contract has ended and all of that. You should be able to hold up the home front, and that has just shaped my relationship with money. That's what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Judy. Thank you very much. Do you want to tell us, hi, in case you're not here in the beginning, Judy is the founder of Transition to Tech, which is an academy that's, Judy, tell us about your academy. I thought I knew it.
Hey, Elizabeth, you deserve strokes of a cane. So yeah, Transition to Tech Academy is an academy where we help you transition to tech. Now, tech has been so, there's a lot of myth about tech that is not attainable. You cannot easily transition. Oh, I didn't read computer science, computer engineering in university, so I do not qualify to be a techie, to work in tech. But because of my background, because of where I've come from, it's not that hard. There are lots of tech roles that you can do without even knowing a single line of coding. Our doctor here, Dr. Vivian, is an experienced Scrum Master. Scrum Masters are part of the Agile team. They are into, and now I'm being technical, they are part of the whole tech industry. And at the end of the day, they do not even do anything coding. So I'm just here to be able to hold you, show you that, oh, this is your talent. We talked about talent initially. Yeah, you've got this talent. You're good. You're a project manager, or sorry, you're an event planner. You can go into project management. How are you going to go into project management? Take a course, know the intricacies of it, prepare your CV, brush you up, and prep you for interview, and you can go and start making that money, start making that 5, 6, 7 figures as a tech as a techie. So that is what I do. Basically, I've been able to help over 100 people pivot into tech. And yeah, if you are interested in tech, and I should say everybody should be interested in tech, because that's where the money is right now. You can earn as much as £500 per day, and that is no jokes. So if you are able to earn that, and you can even earn as little as 100, it depends on where you're working. So if you're able to earn that crazy amount of money, £1,000 a day, some of them are earning that. Why would you not want to transition into tech? So I'm the one to help you. I have been through a lot as a tech, from my first experience as, getting into tech and actually losing my job. I have been able to know the do's and don'ts when you're trying to transition, and I'm the best person to hold your hand and help you transition into tech.
Thank you very much, Judy. How do we reach out to you if you want to transition to tech?
All right, so you can follow me on my Instagram page. My Instagram page is Transition to Tech Academy, and send me a DM, or on LinkedIn you can follow me, connect with me, Judy Erusiafe. Connect with me and send me a DM, and I'll be there to help you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. I'm posting all this in the group. Dr. Vivian, we have wrapped up. Do you want to tell us how your relationship with money has been thus far, and then advise us on how we can make money this coming year? And that one. Dr. Vivian, I'm with you if you're with me.
You can actually
Okay,
see,
great.
I see my face when I heard money. I mean, I just literally leaped up. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's hearing me. Yes, okay, yes. I can see the hello now. Okay, lovely. My relationship with money, I don't want to say love. I like money. Money likes me. Well, I think part of my advantage, right, growing up, I know a lot of us were already talking about low-hanging fruits earlier today, but part of my advantage was the fact that I grew up in an Igbo home, and my parents were full-blown traders. So I handled money, good money, as a child. Like, we literally would even sit down on money, which was perfect for me. So basically, like I said, I've done many things that made money come easily my way. And I think everyone should also pay attention to that. Sometimes you might not have had a particular idea, right? If you know people who are actually pushing an idea, maybe someone here, I think I heard my apostle allow me talk about her coaching calls. I've been part of that call as well. I wanted to spotlight this, and it was super, super amazing. Then I heard Coach Judy here talk about transitioning to tech. One thing I would say as well is the place of partnership and leveraging your own community. You can find a way to relate with them and tell them that you want courts, that you bring people and you want courts. That's how to make money. But a lot of people are too, I don't know, they're not using their visibility for anything. And it's actually very disturbing. So I have a community of people who actually introduced me. Right now we've crossed over 1,000. We have another group already. So it means that, okay, there are this much people, and most times every week, as some of you know, we have events literally every week. So tomorrow now we are going to be discussing everything, podcasting, I mean, YouTube, everything, how to write a book. So when I had Judy talk about how I love to have a book, and I was saying, right now to write a book is a I don't know how to say it, is the least thing you can do, because there are lots of people who are already men in that places, and all you have to do is find a way to partner. In fact, right from ghostwriters, all you have to do is to record your ideas, and these people will literally, or send them your what's the word now, for some of us who document and journal our lives, like me, my notes is always literally, I love to write, so it's something that you just send them a snippet, or you can tell them that they should go on your LinkedIn and see what you have been doing so far. So you see where your social media platform is not for joke, and what you're putting out there should actually represent what you're super passionate about. So you can actually just send them your link, and literally they will, okay, sorry, someone is okay, and literally they can just come up with everything that represents every idea you've been churning out on the internet. So this is me also saying that having money is a psychological thing. Having money is a mindset. So this is me now coming from the aspect of a long-term volunteer in church. One of the things I've realized with people who volunteer for long, they don't put value on their time, and they are literally everywhere on LinkedIn. Many of these very overtly very spiritual persons, which is excellent. I'm a spiritual person and I push for it every time. But I find out that because you have spent all your life offering free, when it comes to take your money back from take your money for the value you offer. You find it super, super hard. I know there are people currently on this call who are having these challenges. And I'm saying, when you are volunteering, volunteer with purpose, volunteer to have reviews, volunteer to have recommendations. So if you're on this call right now, anyway, for those people in my masterclass, including, I will not call her name, let her call herself. I make sure that you go and get your reviews, because that's where your job, that is where your job starts. That is where the opportunity to work with other people starts. That is where your charging people will start from. So I'm saying this again. Money is okay. Money is lovely. Money loves me, as Apostle has said. Money loves me. I'm comfortable with money. I'm comfortable with the idea of being rich, right? And then these are the things you have to sit down and meditate on. And I'm comfortable to charge anything. It's my business, right? You might not. I'm going to charge this. So basically, that is what you should do right now. One of the things I want to emphasize here is leveraging. If you contact Mrs. Olaomi Heavens and bring 10 more people in your circle, you might not even have that coaching call, but you find out that in your circle you have 20 persons that you probably have not asked for anything. You say, are you having challenges with making money right now? If the person says yes or no, gather all of them together and say, okay, let's go. Right now, that's going to be happening for some people who are interested in the grant school from that last month. From the last week events last week, right? So I'm just trying to give you an idea. Don't say you don't have any skill to offer yet. Leverage. And then part of the things I think I have challenges with is that most times when people see people charging forward, pushing forward, they slip into two ways. More like the word is, every time they see people charging, they slip into jealousy. When I mean charging, I'm not talking about charging money, like thrusting forward, pushing a narrative. Let's say perfectly everything we are doing currently on the Phoenix Gates. For some of you who are in Phoenix Gate and on this call, you know that that's what we do. We push. So when you see people pushing like that, enter their DMs. And hello, how you doing? I've noticed that you posted yesterday about this and that. Is there any way I could help you? Develop a partnership structure. Is it possible that if I bring 20 people for this your class, I'll be able to earn something from it? Start earning from people. Yes, so Elizabeth, I'm waiting for you. Start earning from people. You don't have to wait to have gotten it all clear. And guess what? Of course, for my masterclass, if you bring like 20 persons, it's going to be free for you now, definitely. When you bring that 20%, the goal is this. Okay, maybe I'm over pushing the 20. If you bring 10, you pay 50%. Okay, so if you bring 10, you pay 50%, right? But then you are getting the knowledge. Before you know it, you're straightened out. So everything I spoke about today is everybody leveraging on your visibility. Leverage on the people who are currently in your circle. Some of you have millionaires as your friends, but jealousy will not allow you think. You're just, why is she buying new shoe? Instead of you to say, well, I see that you love shoes a lot. There's one hot shoe I saw when I went to the market. Are you sure you're interested? That's for those people who are interested in, what do they call it? Products. You see ideas. Just the thing is, right? But the best thing that can happen to you right now, right, is to meet the needs of the people in your circle as you evolve. So I'll say it again, get comfortable with money. Money is like the end result of the exchange of value. Find ways to add value to all your network. So I don't know, is there any other thing you want me to talk about?
So Vivian, I want you to talk about a lot of things, but maybe I'll bring you back another time where it's only you, only you. 2 hours, just be talking 3. I'll just be writing. But thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very appreciative of your time. Thank you to my amiable speakers. I don't take your time and your love for granted. Thank you very much, Judy. Thank you, Mrs. Heavens. I told you I like your name. I really love your name. I'm going to name my child Heavens just because I like the name. I like the way you call yourself. Is it Lawon? Is it Lawon you call it? There's a name.
Olaomi Heavens.
No, there's a way when you were trying to hype yourself, when you're like, oh, don't buy that hair. You can use the money to buy this other thing. There's a way you call it Lawon or something. Yeah, I love it. Dr. Vivian, if you leave Dr. Vivian, you know where they say aspire to Maguire. You will all the bad decisions that you've not taken, not bad decisions, all the big decisions you've been running away from taking, you will take them at once. You just find yourself, well, I'm just motivated, just hype. So please give a round of applause to my speakers. They have been very, very considerate. Please give a round of applause. Clap. I want to be seeing your applause flying all over the script, please. Thank you. Samuel, you're a man. Thief. Don't mind me, I'm joking. All right. So thank you so much. I'm going to just say a vote of thanks. I want to appreciate members of the Virtuous Tribe, Favor, Miriam Shehu, TD, I see you. Jessie has left. Barakat was here. She has left. New members of the Virtuous Tribe, you're welcome. I appreciate you. Abenal, you're welcome. Amanda, thank you for joining us. Buba Katma. Buba, I've said I'm a very big fan of yours, and I'm saying it again so that you know that I'm watching you from afar with what they call that thing. I don't know, magnifying glass, microscope. I'm watching you from afar just because I love your name, I love your face, and I love the way you speak. Bukimesha, thank you. Chidebere, thank you so much for showing up. Esther, thank you. Ify, that's if he's a doctor, it's Dr. Ify, right? Because I'm very familiar with that name, Dr. Ify Akpan, right? Thank you for coming. Kate, thank you. Miriam, thank you again. Mabel the Maven, I'm appreciative of your presence. Thank you very much. Sylvia, Opera Sylvia, thank you. Rafatu, Samuel, Ajay, Trisha, Ulime, and Victoria. I am very, very delighted. So this is where I draw my curtains. And again, the Virtuous Tribe does this every month. So we talk about different topics that pertains to women. So if you'd like us to talk about any topic, just send me a DM. You have my LinkedIn, send me a DM on LinkedIn. If you're in the tribe, send us on the tribe. You know how we do it. Oh, really? Why did I think you're a doctor? Oh, nice. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe you should see it as a sign. I just a talk. But anyways, have a lovely evening and God bless you all.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.